We're gonna go at it one more again.
Going for the big shot. Can you make it nuts?
Going ham with Superman. YouTube Lab, man.
Okay, so this week, light week, I skipped last week because it was my birthday. Happy birthday to me. But so we back at it this week, and I was watching some videos, just here and there or whatever, and I ended up coming across a video of somebody talking about the RIP rounds. And if you don't know what the RIP round is, that is an RIP round. You see, it's a little different than your average round. The point of this round is that it's a hollow point, but it has a centerpiece that continues through once these, I don't know what you want to call them, rails or whatever, once they separate, and instead of just mushrooming like a regular hollow point would do, like this one, just mushroom and stay together, these mushroom and they break off and make separate cavities. There's like a million videos out about the RIP round, ballistic gel test, all that, showing that it does what it's supposed to do. It hits, it stays together when it leaves the barrel, hits, spreads out, makes multiple cavities, and still has that centerpiece that continues on a little deeper. The video I was watching called it a novelty round, and just said it was impractical. And I actually in my Walther PPX, this is the round I carry in that. And so just the thought of it being an impractical round, and it's just, a gimmicky round, when you got all these ballistic tests and everything that show that it does what it says it does, it just had me thinking about that everybody doesn't get the manufacturing behind each round. Every round, there's no such thing as a perfect round. You can spend all the money you want and think that you got the best duty ammo or the best everyday carry ammo, but there's levels to this that I don't think some get. So this round, the RIP round, is not a gimmick. This round will do damage. It will do severe damage to someone who's not wearing body armor. If your threat level or your concerns, your everyday concerns, to somebody who's wearing body armor, then yeah, you're not gonna carry this round. This is not a round, but that's not the everyday guy. And this guy was speaking for the everyday guy. So the everyday guy, your normal threat's not gonna have body armor on. So yeah, against body armor, this would have less of an impact versus, I say, even, so it's levels to it. So you got, like I said before, it's levels. So you got an RIP, you got a regular hollow point. The hollow point is going to stay together, and it's going to have a little more impact on some body armor. And this might be controversial, but ball ammo, if you don't know, ball ammo, it's a ball. So ball ammo is going to hit, and this is just all one round. It's not hollowed out or anything, so it's actually a little heavier. So the reason being that, again, a lot of people don't understand, the reason you go a hollow point over a ball round is that a ball round will sometimes continue through a target and maybe hit an unintended target. A hollow point will mushroom once it hits the first target and stay within that target, so not continuing through to possibly hit an undesired target or whatever. That's the difference, and that's why most carry this. That's why my old 40 cal duty ammo was for that reason, is because we got liabilities to worry about, that if that round in the event you have to use it, you got to account for each round and where it goes. So if you hit your target, yeah, you perfect, John Wick, zeroed in, you hit your target, but it went through that target and hit something else that you didn't intend to, you got to account for that. So you use a hollow point for accountability, because it's going to hit your target, which you should be training and should be able to hit your target, and it's going to stay at your target and not continue. So calling the RIP round a gimmick, no, it's based for your threat level. And the average everyday guy is not facing body armor. So just a normal penetration, this is a more than gimmick round. Like, yeah. But there's, again, levels to it. You got another hollow point. The difference in these is this one's a little more jacketed, so it will mushroom a little more, making a wider cavity, where this one not so much. Both 9 mils. And then it ran me on into a tangent. You know, just thinking. Here we have 4 different 12 gauge rounds. And that's 4 different uses, purposes, and impacts that you could get from these 4 rounds, these 4 magical 12 gauges here. So let's start with the kitchen sink. It's got a little bit of everything. This is what I call it, the kitchen sink. But it's Seller and Bellet say that this is just a buckshot. It's not. This is, I think, 9 buck. There's a solid slug in there with metal shavings behind that, and just nastiness. So this, I call it the kitchen sink. It's gonna hit you with everything. This round, the home defense round, you want to say, it's gonna spread. It's gonna hit multiple targets. This is almost a pray and spray. It's just anything in that direction is not safe. So whatever direction you're firing this in, that is not a safe direction. There's really no, you can aim still, but it's gonna have a spread pattern to it. Then depending on your distance and stuff like that, it's gonna spread further. So then let's take it to just a regular buckshot. Same deal, got the buck pellets, but doesn't have the shavings and everything else behind it. It's just buck pellets. So you're still gonna have that spread pattern to it. It's still a good home defense round, hunting round, you know, whatever you want to use it for. But federal buckshot. Boom. So that was the purpose for that. Now, what is this? It's a horn ready? Yeah. So horn ready, however you want to pronounce it. Slug. It's a 70 millimeter. And this is a I don't want to say hyper velocity, but it's a higher velocity slug round. It's more rifled, just looking at the tip of it, than your normal slug, which would be, this is a Remington. You can see the tip of that, it's more rounded than the tip of that. So this one will give you a little more penetration. They're both gonna pack a punch, being a slug round shot from a 12 gauge shotgun, probably 18-inch barrel, most shotguns. So these rounds will do some damage. They're more accurate because most of the time a slug is going to be rifled. You can aim a little better. It's not going to have a spread pattern like a buckshot. So just your purpose. What are you carrying for? What are you hoping to prevent, or hoping that you don't encounter? What threat levels are you assessing? Are you carrying a rifle? That brings in a whole other gambit. So here we have, it's a hard way to hold these. Here we have 5 rounds. 5 rifle rounds. Different varying calibers. So we'll start a good old 308. And just by comparison to the next largest round I have, it's 308 and a 7.62 by 39. There they are. That's the difference in them. So 308 goes out of my my bolt action, and the 7.62 out of my AKP. So 2 different firing mechanisms, 2 different rifle styles. My bolt action has got a bipod, a long range scope, and it's a bolt action. My AKP, it's got a folding brace on it. It can actually be fired with the brace folded. It's a pistol, you know, that is semi-auto. I don't have to use any type of bolt action with it, and it's just got a red dot on it. So for closer range. So with these 2 rounds, what am I preparing for? What am I going to do? More likely, I'm doing some long range shooting, probably some hunting with the 308. I mean, they make make 308s that a little smaller than my bolt action that you could carry on duty. Most FN scars are 308 caliber. So if you're in the military or military applications, you might carry this round over a 7.62, or let's go to the 5.56 AR round. So you might carry this round over this round, depending on your threat level. You might carry this round over this round, depending on your threat level. So going to 5.56, these are the 2 5.56 rounds, but they're different. The green tip has a steel core. Most firing ranges, indoor firing ranges, won't let you use these. Shooting steel, you don't use these. There's a reason. The green tips have a steel core. Shooting steel with this, steel versus steel, it's not going to be good, especially if you're closer to it. That steel is going to ricochet. It's not going to be good. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't shoot steel on steel. You're going to use more of a frangible round or just a normal 5.56 round. You really want frangible though. You want frangible rounds. Shooting steel. At the normal indoor range, they'll allow these because they don't have a steel core. If you're using steel cores, more than likely you're needing to penetrate walls or doors or anything like that. So you got to think about your rhyme and reason. Why are you doing this? This is a 357 round versus a I want to say 50 cal, but no, this is 45 ACP God's caliber. But so this is my 1911. This is out of my lever action. So again, 2 different actions, 2 different purposes, what have you. I'm pretty sure I just got some, practice ammo for my 357, so nothing major. But you see how flat that is, and it's just made for practice. It's not, it's gonna do damage. Any round is deadly. A 22 long rifle can do damage, but just for normal purposes every day, that's not gonna do too much as a ball 45 round would. So if you're carrying around that versus a hollow point 45, so what are your applications? That 45 hits a lot harder than a 9, and then to have it mushroom, once it hits, that cavity is going to be larger than this cavity of a 40 that mushrooms. But then you got to think about the 9, the RIP, that has several cavities that's spread off from these different legs or planks, whatever you want to call them, as they separate. So what are your applications? And then just finally, just to bring up controversy, got a good old 5.7 liter. I don't want to say 5.7 liter. It's not a Hemi, but it'll hit like a Hemi, despite what some people think. They compare it to just being a 22. It's one round I didn't bring to the table, but I got some 22. But yeah, just by comparison, a 22 is a lot smaller. The casing is so much smaller than on a 5.7, and just to compare those two, the velocity, just the shape of the round, how it hits. If I hit you with my fist just ever so slightly versus me full swing, there's 2 different impacts there. And I just hate that people love to just, brush stuff off, call it a gimmick or whatever, and then have other people that will follow along and not do their own research thinking that, oh, that round's not deadly. That round won't penetrate. It does. It does. And any round shot from anything can be deadly. For my birthday, I went to the Spy Museum in DC. I was in DC for my birthday. And they got a bunch of like single shot guns, and I should have took some pictures, but I was just going through. But a bunch of single shot guns that these were really used by quote unquote spies, but like CIA agents, FBI agents who were doing covert missions or undercover missions, and that single shot of a .17 round or 380 or 22 was a life or death situation for them. And to say that a 5.7 is not deadly or won't penetrate or won't have any stopping power, stop it. Just stop it. But yeah, that's why I ended with this, because it's the most controversial, and I'm the 5.7 king. I take offense to that. So, but yeah, this round here, multiple applications, high velocity, will penetrate certain things, and depending on your applications, your threat level, there's actually different levels to this round. So there are armor piercing rounds where there's not available to the public, but they're there, and there's different velocities and different rhymes and reasons for a 5.7 round. But enough with my rant. I just want to clear the air on that. It was just something that's been sitting on my mind since I saw that video. I can't even remember whose video it was, but it kind of set me off. But just to say all that, I'm gonna go to the range and I'm gonna enjoy some of these different rounds. And I just appreciate everybody for tuning in, liking, sharing, subscribing. Wishing all the birthday wishes. If you want to throw those in there too. But again, enjoy this range footage. And other than that, I'm out.
Like that other guy having to wait for the barrel to cool for the meat. Have to give you another hour for that magazine.
It's still pretty accurate too.